Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Today I am so excited. Are you as excited as I am? We're talking about new releases, more new releases, like tons more. Yeah, they just keep on coming. So I am super stoked to share this list with you. I'm so excited to try everything that I'm going to talk about and give or take a few actually. There's a couple on here that I'll let you know I'm like not that excited to try, but some of you might be. But yeah, this is going to be another great jam-packed video, so stay tuned. Before we dive into today's video, if this is your first time here, hello, welcome. My name is Kelly. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Did anyone get their nose on any of the new releases I shared 2 weeks ago? Let me know in the comments. What have you been sniffing? What are you loving? Also, before we dive into today's video, as usual, let me know your scent of the day. Drop it down in the comments below. Mine is Dear Polly by Wilhelm Parfumerie. I love Dear Polly. It's so pretty, such a beautiful, like spring summer tea scent. I'm just absolutely obsessed. Probably gonna have to get a full bottle. What's your scent of the day? Let me know in the comments and let's jump right in. So if this is your first time watching a new release video, the way that we do it is first I talk about new releases that are not yet released. They've just been announced. And then we move into the section of new releases that are available for purchase and for sample. And then the very last section that we have is the smallest section and it's perfume leaks. And today I only have one leak for you. And I don't even know if by the time this video goes live, if it will be considered a leak anymore. It depends on the timing, but we'll see. So let's dive right in, you guys. All right, going in alphabetical order, we have new releases that have not yet been released. Again, if there's a discrepancy, it's generally because in the time between I filmed and the video went live, the fragrance has been released. So that may happen. So if there's anything that you're like super excited to try out, just go ahead and Google it, check it out, do a little research. As I'm making my way through this list, make sure that you write down anything that intrigues you so that you can, keep your eye on it. Maybe order samples when they're released, or you can just come back to my channel and watch my videos when I do first impressions of these samples. So very first fragrance is from Bond Number 9, which is a house I'm really trying to love, but I've been having a hard time, to be honest. Some of their fragrances are okay. To me, the DNA is just a little, like there's something about it that's just a little too like fluffy for me, and the prices are exorbitant. And in order for me to spend, $380, $400 on a bottle of perfume, I need to be absolutely head over heels in love with it. So I don't know about this one, but I know some of you guys are going to be really excited. This is a new release by the House of Bond Number 9, and it's called Beekman Place. Let me read you the notes. We've got pineapple, blackcurrant, bergamot, pear, lemon, basil, water accord, geranium, driftwood, tonka bean, patchouli, sea amber, oak moss, sandalwood, and musk. A lot going on in there. So that is, at the time I'm filming this, not yet released. Stay tuned for that. Then this is very exciting. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fragrances from Charlotte Tilbury. She is releasing a new line of 6 fragrances. I have heard one review on these so far. They're not available yet. However, I did listen to another reviewer who got some samples and she had good things to say. So let's start off with the very first one. It's called Calm Bliss. And this one has notes of neroli, lavender, watery accord, orris concrete, and white musk. So very like clean, kind of serenity giving perfume. The next is called Cosmic Power. This one has notes of black pepper, cinnamon, elemi, rose ultimate, amber, frankincense, and vanilla bean. That sounds like one that I'll probably be super into. Next up, we've got Joyphoria. This one has notes of ylang ylang, neroli, coconut water, petitgrain, jasmine sambac, tuberose absolute, vanilla, and musk. So kind of getting like a little bit of a tropical beachy vibe from that one. And then next we have Love Frequency. And this one has rose, pink pepper, patchouli, sensual woody notes, and musks. This sounds really good as well. And then we've got Magic Energy. This one is the one I'm most excited about. It's got notes of bergamot, palo santo, frankincense, cypress ultimate, and seaweed. That sounds really good. I'm very excited. I love a palo santo note, so definitely most excited about that one. And then last but not least, we have More Sex. And this one has notes of black pepper, juniper, ambroxan, musk, animalic eldron, leather, and sandalwood. These fragrances are launching April 30th. So by the time you see this video, they may or may not already be launched, and I believe they'll be available in Sephora. Not sure if that's in-person Sephora or online Sephora, but I would definitely, make it a priority on your next Sephora trip after April 30th to see if these are available, and maybe you can sniff them while you're there. Next up, we have another new release from the House of DS and Durga. They are on a roll. This one is called Gateau Blackout. And this one sounds really interesting. We've got notes of sweet dark cherry, ashy pine, rich chocolate, warm vanilla, and earthy patchouli. Cherry and patchouli and pine together. I'm excited for this one. We have another new release-ish from DS and Durga. It's not a new release, it's a new batch. I guess it's been gone for a hot second. So this is actually like, it's in its own category, but I thought I would just throw it in here. This is called Wipeout. And this one sounds amazing. It's got top notes of ginger lily, guava flower, and surf spray, heart notes of lang lang, osmanthus, and coconut milk, and base notes of vanilla orchid, Javanese vetiver, and Bustin surfboards. And this sounds super beachy. This sounds very California summer. I'm here for it. Super excited. Obviously, never smelled it. Yeah, really excited to check this out. Next up on the list, we have one that everyone's talking about already, so you probably already heard about this, but this is a new release from the House of Ellis, Brooklyn. I've heard multiple people say that it's their favorite so far from the line, which like obviously is a huge statement. This is called Miami Nectar, and the notes on this sound, again, like very summery, kind of beachy. It sounds really good. So we've got top notes of pink pineapple, palm leaf, and coconut water, middle notes of wild jasmine, plumeria, and lily of the valley. I love plumeria. And then base notes of tree moss, salted woods, sweet amber woods, and vanilla. I love Ellis Brooklyn, even if the longevity is not great. They're a clean house. I kind of expect that with clean houses. Sunfruit is my absolute favorite from the line, followed like very closely by a prey. And yeah, I don't know. Like, is Miami Nectar going to win first spot over Sunfruit? Probably not for me, anyways. But if you guys know my story with Sunfruit, it's like one of my soulmate fragrances. But yeah, I'm very, very excited for this. And yeah, just to get some like Miami vibes in my collection would be really cool. Okay, next up we have two from a house that I personally had never heard of until last week, and it's called Gabar. And there's two new releases coming up from this house. The first one is called O4 Nolita Rise, and this one has notes of juniper, pink pepper, green mandarin in the top, middle notes of lavender, cypress, mint, and lily of the valley, and then base notes of amber woods, cashmere woods, and cedar wood. I'm going to read you the little PR blurb. The first fragrance of our newly launched Gabar, I'm thinking maybe it's Gabar, Urban Collection 04 Nolita Rise reflects on the hidden rituals of the city morning. So I forgot to mention this collection's about New York City. Okay. Inspired by the energy of the concrete jungle and paying homage, I always have a hard time with this word. Homage? Someone tell me in the comments. Paying homage to the brand's first home of New York, O4 Rise is a soothing, skin-like, and expansive concoction, opening with gentle notes of juniper and pink pepper, leading into an aching heart of lavender, cypress, and lily of the valley, and rounding off with a soft pool of amberwoods and cashmere wood. We imagine that moment of waking up, crisp air in the face, with all of the noises of the city started to hum and whir around us. So that's the first one. And then also from that house, we have O5, and this is called Ludlow Lull. This one I'm really, really excited about because top notes of orange blossom and black tea, middle notes of red apple, cherry, and rose, and base notes of sandalwood, cashmere woods, and white musk. This sounds so good. I'll read the PR blurb. The second fragrance of our newly launched Gabar Urban Collection 05 Ludlow Lull reflects on the hidden rituals of the city evening, inspired by the energy of the concrete jungle again, and paying homage to the brand's first home of New York. O5 Lull is a sweet but social concoction, opening with notes of orange blossom and black tea, leading into a fun and tangy heart of red apple, cherry, and rose, and rounding off with an alluring base of sandalwood and white musk. We imagine that moment of unwinding, letting go or letting loose, the rhythms of going out and seeking connection or taking time to reconnect with ourselves. I've mentioned this many times before on my channel, I love creating an experience through scent. I love creating a state of being through scent. And this moment of unwinding, letting go, letting loose, going out, seeking connection, like I get that moment. Like I actually have goosebumps right now because it's such a palpable feeling and experience. And yeah, to be able to recreate that with scent, very excited for it. So both of these fragrances you can actually pre-order now on their website. They will be available for dispatch May 13th through May 17th. So you can go ahead and pre-order those now if you desire. All right, next up we have two from the house of Giardino Benessere. I think I said that right. The first one is called Hestia, and this one, the perfumer is Paolo Terenzi. I don't know, sometimes I write down perfumers, sometimes I don't, but that's the perfumer for this one. Top notes are cardamom, incense, myrrh, and leather. Middle notes of amyris, black pepper, sandalwood, and birch. And base notes of ambergris, guaiac wood, benzoin, and white musk. Now, I am very excited about this because I'm an incense girly for sure. I love myrrh. I love guaiac wood. And I also absolutely hate birch. So I don't know, like this one's either going to really fly for me or not. It's very up in the air. But let me read you what they wrote because although this is long, it's a really great little blurb about the fragrance. Hestia, daughter of the Titans Kronos and Rhea, is a seductive figure associated with the idea of the domestic hearth, embodying harmony, tranquility, and hospitality. Her aura of balance and calm is an eternal source of inspiration. The trail that emanates from this fragrance is inspired by the same traits that characterize the soul of the goddess, exuding gentleness and timeless beauty. The notes of this creation conjure up a sense of welcome and tranquility, transporting you to a divine atmosphere. In the fast paced world we live in, Hestia draws attention to the importance of harmony, hospitality, and calm. Wear this fragrance, and you will be accompanied by the essence of divinity or ethereal elegance. The composition opens with notes of Nepalese cardamom, offering a warm and spicy welcome, blending perfectly with Omani incense and Jordanian myrrh. At the heart of the fragrance, Malaysian amyris emerges as a disruptive force, and pungent Malabar black pepper advances alongside Australian sandalwood and the depth of Romania birch. The base opens with a luxurious persistence, beginning with seductive ambergris, which combines with the enveloping softness of white musk. Finally, Guatemalan guaiac gives the creation a deep, woody touch, and almond benzoin delicately joins the notes, adding sweetness and warmth. Hestia is a sophisticated creation that will capture the imagination of the simplest and richest souls alike, transporting all who come into contact with it on a sensual journey through exotic places and mysterious cultures. Cool, right? And then next up from the house, we have one that I'm totally going to butcher the name, Potamois, potentially. And with this one, I don't have a description, but I do have notes. We've got top notes of bergamot, cardamom, lavender, and juniper, middle notes of cedarwood, coconut, milky lactonic accord, Bulgarian rose, orange blossom, peach, and jasmine sambac, and base notes of patchouli, sandalwood, karame, ambergris, coumarin, and benzoin. So yeah, I'm excited for both of these. I've never smelled anything from this house before. Next up, we have a new release from the House of Guerlain. This is a flanker. It's La Petite Robe Noire Low Rose. And this one has notes, top notes of black cherry, bergamot, red fruits, and damask rosewater. Middle notes of rose absolute, almond, and black tea. How good do those heart notes sound? And then base notes of patchouli, tonka bean, and licorice. And this is a limited edition. What I'm really excited about with this one, I never really got into this line ever. But what I am really excited about is that this is an alcohol-free fragrance. It's a limited edition alcohol-free fragrance. So it's a rosewater-based formulation, which very much intrigues me. I'm just super intrigued by this. So definitely going to give that a shot. The next one that we have, you guys, you may have heard about this because it was actually dropped last night, I think at like midnight at the time I'm filming this. So you probably already heard about this. I wanted to be the first to tell you, but it just didn't work out that way timing wise. For some of you guys, this is going to be new information. I am stoked. Does anyone get as excited about Kayali launches like I do? Like I just get so excited. It's like crack. I'm like, when's the next release coming out? I still haven't smelled Smoky Oud. I still need to smell that one. But there's another new one and it's very exciting. It's called Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar 42. And I'm very excited, very, very excited. This is launching May 2nd, so it'll be available very soon. Listen to these notes, you guys. We've got top notes of candied pear, sweet violet, rum, ylang ylang, marshmallow, and vanilla cream. Middle notes of jasmine, labdanum, white caramel, bubblegum, and jelly bean. And base notes of tonka bean, vetiver, sandalwood, cashmere wood, patchouli, rock sugar, and Kayali signature accord. I am very excited for this. And I love like it's just such a different direction of vanilla. So far, you know, we've got vanilla 28, which is like our kind of OG vanilla from the line. And then we've got the patchouli one. I always forget the name of it. You know which one I'm talking about. The patchouli, like the creme brulee kind of one. Rum and patchouli, that one. Royale, that's what it's called. And then we've got the vanilla oud. And now this is like going in a completely different direction. So I'm very, very excited about this. I cannot wait to get my hands on this. I will let you guys know as soon as I do, as soon as I smell it. Next up, we have one that I talked about on a previous video. When I talked about it before, it was in the leak section. Now it's been officially announced and I have notes. And this is actually a reformulated version, which I was unaware of when I heard it as a leak and shared it with you guys. But this is a reformulated version of Imperial Tea by Kilian from 2014. So it's repackaged, reformulated. The notes are seaweed, jasmine sambac absolute, green tea, vetiver, and musk. So this will be out very soon. And then next up, we've got 2 new releases by the house of Miller Harris. The first one is called Celadon. This one's interesting. It's got top notes of tomato leaf, cardamom, vervain, and Ceylon tea, middle notes of magnolia, basil, lavender, rose, and tuberose, and base notes of mate, moss, smoky notes, cedarwood, and musk. Not sure about this one. Yeah, I don't know. The tomato leaf kind of throws me off. Then from the house, we also have Soufflot, I think is how you say it. This definitely sounds way more up my alley. So this one has notes of mandarin, honey, hazelnut, tobacco, labdanum, Peru balsam, benzoin, cinnamon, jasmine sambac, chestnut, cypriol, leather, and orchinox. And I've got a blurb for this one. It says, when Matthew Nardine read Ernest Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises, he immediately wanted to convey the aromatic memory he had that morning while walking through the Luxembourg Gardens in Paris. When the first rays of sunlight caressed the leaves of the chestnut trees that adorned the garden's paths, their delicate white flowers sparkled like pearls in the soft morning light. The perfumer was enchanted by the magical aroma of these flowers, an exquisite blend of floral and nutty sweetness. Tobacco wafts from the cafe next door, together with the enchanting notes of the leather bags of elegant Parisians walking through the garden, provide the finishing touch to a colorful hustle and bustle. I love Paris. It's one of my absolute favorite places on the planet. And anything that smells like walking through anywhere in Paris, I'm here for. Maybe not some parts, actually. I've walked through some parts of Paris, and let me know if this has happened for you as well, where you walk through, like, you'll just like be on the street of Paris and you'll just get this waft of like nastiness. And you're like, what? Or like people on the subway that smell terribly like BO. And for some reason it's sexy, but only in Paris. It's bizarre. Anyways, I digress. Let's move on. The next fragrance, we've got a new Angel flanker. I'm sure you guys have heard about this one already because it's been very much talked about. This is Mugler. Obviously, this is an Angel flanker and it's called Fantasme. And this one has notes of fruity notes, creamy coconut accord, and skin light patchouli. So definitely excited to try this one. Next up, we have another fragrance that I already spoke about previously, but when I told you about this before, I didn't have any information on it. I just knew the name and that it was going to be coming out this year. This is none other than Nichane's Chenene. And for this one, we've got top notes of aldehydes, blood orange, elemi, and galbanum. I have a hard time with that word. Middle notes of gardenia, tuberose absolute, muguet. How do you say this word? Muguet. Magnolia, Greek gum, which is also known as mastic, and then cepes absolute, in parentheses, mushroom, and then base notes of sandalwood, civet, cedarwood, opopanax, oak moss, and benzoin. I love the house of Nichane. So I'm very, very excited to get my nose on this. Next up, we have a new release from the house of Rirana. This is called Raspberry Lychee. This sounds interesting. We've got top notes of raspberry, plum, and lychee, middle notes of rose, iris, and honey, and base notes of grapefruit, vanilla, and vetiver. So that sounds really good. Next up, we have a new release from the house Salvatore Ferragamo. This is Signorina Unica. I feel like such an American sometimes. I've traveled extensively around the world and I still feel like just so uneducated and so like illiterate sometimes. Anyways, this one we've got top notes of bergamot, Riviera sea accord, cane sugar, and mandarin, middle notes of white azalea, cashmere wood, and black currant, and base notes of vanilla bean absolute, tonka bean absolute, patchouli, and broxton, and tiramisu. This sounds good. I've got one from the house that I absolutely love. I can't remember the name of it. And then there's another one that I tried that was the most disgusting perfume I've ever smelled in my entire life. Like, I don't know, I don't know what was wrong with it. If there was anything wrong with it, it was so bad. So like, those are literally the only two that I've tried from the house. One was an absolute hit. The other one was an absolute miss. So I'm like, I don't know, but this sounds really good. The tiramisu note in particular is really calling to me. Next up, we've got one new release from the house of Super Fumista. This is Lemon Delight. This one has top notes of lemon, peppermint, and limoncello, middle notes of biscuit and whipped cream, and base notes of vanilla absolute, cedarwood, white musk. Let me read you the little blurb from the brand. This fragrance embodies the joy and lightness of La Dolce Vita under the sun. I wanted to encapsulate the essence of idyllic summer days spent on the Amalfi Coast, savoring the delizia al limon cake. The tangy zest of Amalfi lemons, the freshness of mint leaves, and the creamy sweetness of limoncello, overlying a luscious whipped cream atop a tender cake with notes of almond and vanilla. Lemon Delight is a slice of summer pleasures distilled into a bottle, offering the perfect experience of savoring an indulgent dessert with zesty lemon notes on a comforting, creamy, and vanilla base. I've been to the Amalfi Coast 4 times. It's one of my favorite places. I love the Amalfi Coast. Reading this, I was just transported back. I was just like sitting in what's that village right above Positano with the Walk of Gods. Anyways, side note, did that walk actually by myself to bring my mother's ashes to the top of the mountain. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically there's this mountain. I'm forgetting the name of it. It's this mountain that there's multiple ways to kind of access the hikes and get in there, but I decided to go like the full route. So basically what I did was I walked to the center of Positano and took this staircase up. It's like 10,000 steps. And once you get up the stairs, the 10,000 steps, literally 10,000, you get to this cute little village. And then from there, kind of the mountain path starts. So I went by myself. My godmother and her besties were down at the beach at the bar. And I was like, I'll be a couple hours. I'll get back. We'll have some drinks and we'll go back to our Airbnb. So the 10,000 steps, first of all, I'm in shape. The 10,000 steps was hard. There was actually a guy that I'm pretty sure was like kibbying out on the side, like an older gentleman. It was really hard and it was hot out that day. It was like 85 degrees. So get up, do the hike. I brought my mom's ashes with me because my mom was the first person to bring me to Amalfi Coast when I was like 17 or 18, I think. And so that was like our spot. We made memories there. My mom passed away in 2012. Obviously, that was a long time ago, but it never gets easier. So this was in 2019 when I did this hike and brought her ashes up, got up to the top. I'll try to put some footage in here of the view. It's absolutely beautiful. And spread her ashes and walked back down. As I walked through that little village, I'll find the name of the village too and put it here. There was this cute little stand. There was like these stray cats outside. You just walk in. There was like maybe 5 or 6 tables. And I ordered a limoncello and a little like lemon cake dessert thing just to give myself some oomph before I went back down the 10,000 steps, because that was actually painful going down, which was really interesting. Like my knees were killing me. My thighs were like shaking after going down. Anyways, I get to the beach, find my godmother and her friends, and they're literally being serenaded by this guy that looks like the mob boss in The Sopranos. What's his name? Uncle Tony? Is that his name? The like boss above Tony Soprano? You know what I'm talking about? Anyways, it was such a beautiful day in my life, such an incredible memory. And yeah, the description to this fragrance just like brings me back to that little place that I stopped. I'll put pictures up so you guys can see. But anyways, highly recommend doing that hike if you're in shape and you want to have a beautiful day. All right, next up we have a new release from the House of Oud. This is called White Pearl. Again, just a reminder, this section, they're not actually released yet. They're just coming soon. Just wanted to throw that in there. Top notes of ylang ylang, pink pepper, and cardamom. Middle notes of rose, iris, and tonka bean, and base notes of marine notes and ambergris. Next up, we have a new release from the House of Tiziana Terenzi. This is called Zubinel. Disclaimer, I've never tried anything from the house. Not a single thing. Never smelled anything. But this sounds really good. Top notes of ambergris, frankincense, and ambrette. Middle notes of dark chocolate, ambergris, and bourbon vanilla. And base notes of patchouli, sandalwood, birch, and caramel. Next up, we have one from the House of Trussardi. This is called Champaka. This is developed by perfumer Cécile Maton, and it's featuring a gourmand praline accord blended with red champaca. Additional notes for the amber floral include lemon blossom, magnolia, freesia, roasted hazelnut, vanilla, heliotrope, and orchinox. I put this one in this section because it says it's available. Like it says everything that I've read about this says it's available, but I can't find it. Like where is it available? I can't find it. And I think historically this house has been a little bit difficult to find for some of the fragrances is what I've heard. I've got one from the house. It's the Donna, I think it's the EDP. It's like the solid white bottle. It's gorgeous. One of my absolute favorite spring summer fragrances. Like it's so good. I highly recommend it, and it's super cheap. You can get it on FragranceNet, Fragrance Buy. I think I spent $30 on mine, maybe more actually, but it's still like under $100. It's so good. So yeah, this one sounds really good. Definitely excited to try it. Just can't seem to locate it anywhere at this given time. All right, next up we have a upcoming release from the house of Zaharoff. This is called Signature Bloom. This is actually available for pre-order at the moment on the Zaharoff website. Am I saying that right? Zaharoff. It's $155 for 60 mils, so you can just go ahead and pre-order it. I'm not sure when it ships. This one sounds really good. It's got top notes of gardenia, enfleurage, coconut, and star jasmine, middle notes of amber, Arabian jasmine, Egyptian jasmine, orange blossom, and red peony, and then base notes of sandalwood, vanilla bourbon, oud, sugarcane, white jasmine, ylang ylang, myrrh, and olbanum. Let me read you the blurb from the brand. Zaharoff Signature Bloom, a jasmine incense, opening with a heady embrace of jasmine, its intoxicating aroma filling the air like a floral symphony. Each spray carries with it the essence of 1,000 whispered secrets, 1,000 forgotten dreams, as if the very soul of the collective world itself were captured within its petals. I love the poetry. As the scent unfolds, it reveals a heart of sacred resins, myrrh and frankincense mingling with the warm embrace of oud, their smoky tendrils weaving a tapestry of ancient wisdom and divine mystery. It is as if the fragrance itself is a portal to another world, a gateway to the realm of the gods. For within its depths lies the promise of renewal, of new beginnings and endless possibilities. For in the heart of bloom, where jasmine and resin intertwine, lies the key to unlocking the mysteries of the universe. A fragrance so powerful, so intoxicating, that it has the power to change the course of destiny itself. Let me tell you 2 reasons why I'm super excited to try this. First of all, the vibe of this fragrance kind of sounds like it might be similar to Jasmine Yucatan. Obviously with the Jasmine Yucatan, I don't think has any incense notes in it, but it does have copal. And it's got kind of this like ancient, sacred, tropical, floral thing going on with it. And that fragrance does something to my soul. Like, I don't know what it is. There's something about that fragrance. Like, it's just one of those fragrances. And from the description of this fragrance, it sounds like it's going to be similar. The other thing, and just go to like skip over this if you're not into this stuff, but is anyone into astrology? I personally am not super into it. Like, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I'm not going to sign anything because Mercury's in retrograde. Like, I don't live my life by astrology, but I do have a very good understanding of like who I am. I'm an Aries. Like, I very much resonate with my astrological identity, my description, whatever you want to call it. The solar eclipse that happened 3 weeks ago, you guys, like it was crazy. It was bananas. We were in the path of totality. I'm sure a lot of you were as well. And it blew my mind. Like I had no idea it was going to be like that. It was really cool. I feel so grateful that I got to experience that. This is the craziest thing. It's literally nighttime. This is so crazy. It's 1:30 in the afternoon right now, and it's pitch dark out. And astrologically, it's a very powerful time for Aries right now, a very powerful time of new beginnings and new chapters and transformation and letting go of the past and stepping forward and really like saying yes to the call, whatever that means to you, you know? And I feel like this fragrance is just like so compatible with personally where I am in my life right now and what's going on and just like astrologically. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like such a good complement to that. So this is definitely at the top of my priority list as far as sampling for sure. Okay, and last but not least on the not yet released list, we've got a new one by the House of Zoologist. This is called Rabbit. And this one includes green vegetable leaves accord, cinnamon, bergamot, apple, clover flower accord, carrot, jasmine, violet, patchouli, musks, hay, almond, vanilla, and biscuit accord. This fragrance can now be pre-ordered on the Essenza Nobile website, which is a German website, and it looks like it's 210 euros for the special edition 60 ml extrait de parfum. I'm not sure when it will be available. I'm personally not that excited about it, just personally, but I know a lot of people will be, so wanted to share that with you guys. All right, now we're moving into the second category. These are fragrances that are ready to go. They are available. They're ready for purchase, ready for sample, ready for sniff. And again, we've got quite an extensive list. So if you need to take a break, go ahead and pause this video, go get a fresh cup of tea, fresh glass of wine. Yeah, just do what you got to do. So let's kick it off. All right. First one. I've talked about this before, but now I have new information. When I told you about this before, I didn't have notes. Now I've got notes and now it's live. So this is only available at Selfridges. It became available on April 15th. This is the new Acqua di Parma Crystal Incense. We've got top notes of grapefruit, blackberry, grapefruit, black pepper, and ginger, middle notes of cardamom, olibanum, and cedarwood, and base notes of patchouli, benzoin, and musk. And this one you can purchase for $275 for a 100 ml. Next up, we have two new releases by the House of Atelier des Ors, and I've heard a couple people review these. I haven't actually listened to the reviews. I've just seen them reviewing them. But the first one is called Blue Madeleine. This one has top notes of bergamot, pink pepper, cinnamon, middle notes of rose, centifolia, black tea, and a milky note, and then base notes of cade, Peru balsam, praline, and sandalwood. So that's called Blue Madeleine. And then the other one is called Villa Primrose or Primarose. This one has top notes of cardamom, pear, and pink pepper, middle notes of rose, centifolia, ambrette, and iris, and base notes of leather, amberwoods, and musk. So those two are available currently. Next up, we have another Bond number 9. This one is called New York Gardenia, and this one is available now for 460 US dollars for 100 mil. Like what? Anyways, this one has notes of jasmine, tuberose, rose, peony, gardenia, vetiver, and vanilla. So there's that one. Next up, we've got a cute little, I don't know if this is limited edition. This is a cute little travel set. It's Farm to Fragrance. So it's by the House of Boy Smells. It's a farm to table trio. So there's 3 fragrances. I believe they're each 10 mils. I believe. Let's see. 3 10 mils trio available on the Boy Smells website for 80 US dollars. So let's go over the individual fragrances. So for Bramble, we've got top notes of rhubarb, acai, and cassis, middle notes of blackberry, strawberry, and basil, and base notes of tree moss, white cedarwood, and amber. For Crush, we've got top notes of cassis, orange, incense, and grape, middle notes of plum, davana, saffron, and cedarwood, and base notes of vetiver, vanilla, and patchouli. And then for Sweet Pits, we've got top notes of blood orange, rhubarb, clary sage, and lavender, middle notes of carrot, orris, violet, and apricot, and base notes of vetiver, tonka bean, labdanum, and patchouli. Next up, we have a new release by the House of City Rhythm. This is called Barcelona. And tell me what you think this sounds like when I read you the notes. If you've been to Barcelona, you're going to be like, okay, so top notes of sparkling wine, pomegranate, and bitter orange, middle notes of red wine, cherry, and rose, and base notes of cedarwood, amber, chocolate, amber, I wrote amber twice, and musk. I actually have a friend that's in Barcelona right now. She literally just arrived in Barcelona probably like an hour ago as I'm filming this. And I've been to Barcelona one time. I stayed right over Las Ramblas, which if you know, you know, didn't really get much sleep. And we would go down to this little bar that was like right near the hostel that we were staying at and drink sangria. This perfume just sounds like those giant mugs of sangria. Like, I don't even know how many ounces of sangria they would give us. It would be like a 32-ounce glass. I'm like, are you serious? We'd be sitting there forever trying to finish the sangria, and then we'd be like smashed off of this one drink. Anyways, that's what this fragrance sounds like to me, and the fact that they named it Barcelona is just so fitting. Next up, we have 2 new releases from the House of Comptoir Sud Pacifique. First one is called Lime Tropical. This one has top notes of lemon, citron, and grapefruit, middle notes of cardamom, verbena, and tarragon, and base notes of cedar, guaiac wood, and oak moss. And then the second one is called Rouge Lychee. This one has top notes of grapefruit, rhubarb, and cassis, middle notes of lychee, rambutan, and rose, and base notes of raspberry, blackberry, and next up, we have one, two, three, four new releases from the House of Coty. Is it Coty or Coty? I'm assuming Coty. Anyway, these are from the Chanson line. We've got uh, Jasmine, which has top notes of green leaves and jasmine, middle notes of tuberose, and base notes of vanilla and musk. I found all four of these, just side note, on the makeup store website for $24 for 100 mils each. Just side note though, like disclaimer, I don't actually know if the makeup store is legit. Like I've never used it. I'm very wary of websites until I've like heard enough good things about them and actually experienced them myself. So I'm not sure about this website. Let me know in the comments if you've ordered from makeup store before. But this is the only place I could find these fragrances. So there's that. So yeah, so the first one is jasmine. The second one is their lemon fragrance. And this one has top notes of ginger and lemon, middle notes of orange blossom, green tea, and apple, and base notes of cedar and amber. Then we've got a rose fragrance. This one has top notes of grapefruit, bergamot, and lychee, middle notes of magnolia, jasmine, and rose, and base notes of musk and moss. And then the fourth and final is their vanilla. And this one has top notes of pear blossom, apple, and iris, middle notes of cotton candy, water lily, and jasmine, and base notes of vanilla, amber, and musk. Yeah, I'm interested in these. I'm just not sure about the makeup store. Next up, we have one that I'm very excited about. This is from the House of Dead Cool. This is called Sunlit Blooms. And I've only got 4 notes here: orange blossoms, white flowers, vanilla, and salt. But that's all they needed to say. I'm here for it. So this is currently available at Sephora. It's $90 for 50 ml. I believe Dead Cool is a clean house as well. So definitely excited to try this. It sounds right up my alley. Next up, we have a new release by the House of Diaz and Durga again. And I'm just going to read you what the blurb is, so that'll be easier. Indie brand Diaz and Durga has launched Cowgirl Grass, a new version of a fragrance originally released in 2008. Bold peony, flowering plains grass, and rich musk from the wild western territories. Giddy up. Long ago, we made a version of Cowgirl Grass based on our cult favorite Cowboy Grass. 'Twas cool, but this time we wanted to reinvent the juice and bring much more flower power. It starts with a juicy accord of bergamot and lychee, moves to a flowery heart of peony and geranium, and finally dries down in sweet musk and amber. It feels very Western in a modern, fancy way, like classic cowgirl belts encrusted in jewels. Additional notes include jasmine and vetiver. Diaz and Durga Cowgirl Grass is currently exclusive to Neiman Marcus, and it's $210 for 50 mLs. So this sounds really, really good. I'm a huge Diaz and Durga fan. Huge. I love their fragrances, and even the ones that I don't want to wear, I still love. You know what I mean? Because their artistry is just so, so good. Okay, next up we have a new release from the House of Pharmacia SS Annunziata 1561, and this is called Spleen Fever. Actually, I think 1561 is part of the name. My dog's right here under the table. Hi, you want to say hi? I don't think you're going to be on the camera. Okay, this one has top notes of cardamom, bergamot, mandarin orange, pink pepper, and cloves. Middle notes of coconut milk, tuberose, and gardenia, and base notes of cedarwood, cedar, and roasted coffee beans. I've heard of a review of this one by Olivia Olfactory, and she said that this was really, really good. All right, next up, we have a new release from the House of Florists. This is called Red Rose. So this is actually a new version of a vintage Florist Red Rose from the year 1868. So like super vintage. This is $233 for 100 ml. And it's got top notes of geranium, green grass, and lemon, middle notes of cinnamon leaf, pomerose, clove, and rose, and base notes of cedarwood, musk, sandalwood, and vetiver. I'm really curious because it's a remake of a super vintage fragrance. So next up, we have a new release from Histoire de Parfum. This is Not a Blue Bottle 1.7. So it's new release. And we've got notes of coconut, rose, lily of the valley, frangipani, sandalwood, white musk, and vanilla. Next up, we have a new release that I'm trying to figure this out. So this is Oud for Greatness, but it's a new version called Neo, which I believe means new. And this is an exclusive to Harrods. I'm going to read the blurb to you. Initio Parfums Privé's signature Oud for Greatness is a fragrance that focuses on the natural essence of oud wood. Collaborating with Harrods H Society, the label introduces a new edition of the scent, Oud for Greatness Neo, which captures our anything is possible outlook. The power of oud wood is enhanced by the synergistic pairing of lavender, orpur, and bergamot, creating a thrilling scent whose active ingredients work to boost confidence and positive energy. Note the hint of Harrods green on the special edition box. So it says it's got notes of lavender, bergamot, saffron, fir balsam, and oud. So I believe that this is like just oud for greatness, but with a couple additional notes, I believe. Either way, I'm really excited to smell this. I'm actually going to go to Harrods next month. I'll be in London for a couple of days. And yeah, definitely excited to give this a shot. All right, next up we have a new fragrance. It's by the perfumer Mark Buxton, and this is called Kai Porton Cherry X. This one's got top notes of saffron, blackberry, raspberry, divana, pink pepper, and cognac. Middle notes of nutmeg, rose, osmanthus, carrot seed, bitter almond, cinnamon, and sandalwood. And base notes of tonka bean, styrax, patchouli, incense, vanilla, oud, amber, and musk. Next up, we have a new fragrance by a house that I'm not sure how to pronounce. I think it's Loewe. I'll put it right here or right here. But this is Paula's Ibiza Cosmic. And we've got top notes of ripe pear and juicy mango, middle notes of cypress, coconut cream, and cedarwood, and base notes of sandalwood, amber, and labdanum. So that sounds really interesting. Next, we have a new release by the house of Maison Crivelli. This is Queer Infrarouge. This one has top notes of raspberry cocktail, sweet bergamot, and cinnamon, middle notes of osmanthus, cedarwood, and orris, and base notes of leather accord, oud accord, patchouli, and vanilla. This is another one that's exclusive to Selfridges. So it's available for $225 for a 50 ml. Next up, we have a new release from the house of Molinard. This is Iris. This one has top notes of green apple, pineapple, and black currant, middle notes of lemon zest, mandarin, jasmine, and geranium, and base notes of sandalwood, vanilla, and amber. Now they're having a special right now on the Molinard website. So if you buy a 75 ml bottle of this, you actually get a complimentary Iris roll-on, which looks like it's about a 7.5 ml. So it's a pretty good deal. Definitely excited to check this out. I love an Iris note for sure. Next up, we have a new release from the house of Navitas that is not up my alley whatsoever. However, I know a lot of people are going to enjoy it. This is called Melon Kiss. This sold out immediately when they released it, so you can put your name on the restock alert list on their website. It's $170 for 100 mils, and obviously it's a melon-centered fragrance, which is exactly why I think I'm going to hate it. I do not do well with melon. However, I'm still going to sample it because you never know. But this one, we've got top notes of bergamot and melon, middle notes of honeydew melon and coconut milk, and then base notes of creamed honey and vanilla. So yeah, the bottle looks cool though. I'll put a picture of the bottle. Next up, we've got two new body mists from the house of Fleur. The first one is called Dragon Fruit, and this one has top notes of pineapple, dragon fruit, and watermelon, middle notes of plum blossom, lotus, and peony, and base notes of sugared amber, vanilla bean, and sandalwood. And then we've also got one called Moonstone, and this one has top notes of green apple, pineapple, and black currant, middle notes of lemon zest, mandarin, jasmine, and geranium, and base notes of sandalwood, vanilla, and amber. Those sound good, especially the dragon fruit. Next, we have one. So the next three I'm not excited about. I'm probably not going to try them, to be honest, but I wanted to tell you about them because you might be interested. The first is by the house Simone Andrioli, and it's called Silver Marble. And this has notes of citruses, seawater, iced lemon, ice, woody notes, and musk. And it's currently available at Lucky Scent. This just, nope, not for me. It sounds too like ocean, men's, aquatic, like bleh, not my vibe, but you might be interested. So there's that one. And then we've got two new releases from the House of Sniff off of their secret menu. The first one is called Slice Society. So this is supposed to smell like pizza. It's got notes of black currant, basil, tomato sauce accord, iris, crust accord, and sandalwood. It's sold out. You can join the wait list. The other one is called Soda Snob. I'd be more inclined to try this one. This one has notes of fizzy lime, cinnamon, secret cola accord, jasmine, caramel, vanilla. Again, sold out, but you can join the wait list. I'm not sure if it's actually sold out or if they just like are doing that for marketing purposes. I'm not sure. Anyway, both of those sound interesting. All right, next we have another one from the house of Superfumista. This one is called New Blanc. This one sounds good. Top notes of pear and talc, middle notes of orris root and milk, base notes of white musk and vanilla. So it sounds really good. Next, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 new releases from the house of Theodoros Kalatinis. When I say that name, I dated a guy in high school that was Greek, very Greek, like too Greek. And I had friends growing up that were also very Greek. So I know that I'm not pronouncing this name correctly and I need to just like look it up before I film videos. But every time I see this brand, I'm like, I know that's not right. Kalatinis, Kalatinus. Maybe it's Kalatinus. Theodoros Kalatinus. Anyways, the first one's called Cherry Powder. And this is powder, macaroon, milk, and cherry. It's supposed to smell like literal cherry baby powder. So I don't know about that one, but the next one is called Creme Brulee. And of course, this is like, hell yes, I want this. Vanilla cream, coconut milk, and burnt sugar. And the next one is called Pear Gelato. I'm also excited about this one. It's got notes of waffle cone, milk, sugar, vanilla, and pear. And then the final is called the Sexiest Fougere. This one has notes of vanilla, tonka bean, butter, lavender, rosemary, neroli, cedarwood, lemon, bergamot, vetiver, oak moss, geranium, labdanum, green tea, petitgrain, clary sage, and pineapple. It sounds like a lot, but yeah, Fougere, sure, I'll give it a shot for sure. Next up, we have a new release from the house of Veronique Gabay. This is called L'Oasis Desert Rose. It's a limited edition fragrance, and I am very excited to try this. There's only 75 bottles available, and they go for $400 for an 85 ml. But you guys, listen to these notes. Coffee, frankincense, rose centifolia, pink pepper, cedarwood, tonka bean, and musk. Does this not just sound amazing? Let's read the blurb. This limited edition perfume bottle is the result of a collaboration with artist Grimanessa Amaros, who shares Veronique's passion for light and fragrance. Each bottle is engraved with an original artwork from Grimanessa Amaros and numbered 1 to 75. Aromatic coffee awakens the desires, while alluring musk captivates. Its essence intertwines with sacred frankincense. Born from the desert, this rose is pure, almost mineral, and embraces the spicy warmth of the woods for a sensual dance in the sand. Sounds really good. All right, we've got a ton of new releases from Zara. If you know, you know. There's like 20 new releases in the past 2 weeks. I can't keep up with all of them. I'm literally just telling you the 2 that I'm excited about because, to be honest, like bless you. It's just too much. It's too many releases. So there's 2 that I'm excited about. The first one is called Infinite Rich Warm Addictive. This one has top notes of, or just notes of black pepper, grapefruit, coconut, rum, juniper, white peony, benzoin, cedarwood, bourbon, vanilla, and musk. That sounds really good. And then also we've got vibrant caramel. This one has notes of bergamot, tangerine, apple flower, vanilla, and praline. That sounds really good. I love tangerine right now. It's so good. Yeah, so that's everything from the new releases. And then I have one leak for you guys, just the one leak. And like I said, not sure if this is even a leak anymore by the time you actually see this video. But this is from the house of Celine and it's called Zuzu. And I'm not sure what any of the notes are going to be or anything like that. It's literally just a leak and trying to figure out like what Zuzu means. Like my initial thought was like, is Zuzu like an African name? And maybe it's going to be like an African influenced fragrance. But then like also wasn't there like a social icon named Zuzu back in like the 60s maybe or 70s? I don't know, like who knows what direction this is going to go in. But I really like everything I've smelled from Celine so far, even though they don't have a ton of projection. They're very like close to the skin type of scents, but they smell very luxurious and very refined. I also heard a rumor that black tie is discontinued, and I don't know if that's true, but if it is, like why? Why would you do that to us? Literally, why? Like, why? Like, that's so mean. Why would you do that? So, yeah, I don't know. If black tie is truly like done for, then bottles of that are going to go for like probably $800 from, you know, Mercari, eBay, stuff like that. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, you guys. I have a couple very exciting videos coming up for you, including a budget-friendly new releases from Target. And also I've got a commodity milk versus Lost in a Dream side-by-side comparison, which I think you'll find very fascinating. I also am in the process of coming up with a new video around hidden gems from popular houses. So taking my favorite fragrances from some houses that like literally no one talks about. So I'm very excited to introduce you to some maybe new fragrances that you haven't heard about from popular fragrances that people can't stop telling you about. So yeah, very excited for these upcoming videos. Stay tuned. And please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Your support means the world to me, you guys, as I make my way to 1,000 subscribers. I'm so excited. The day is so close. And I really appreciate you taking the time to be here with me and just taking the time to enjoy your passion for fragrance. Life is about doing things and submerging in things that bring us joy. And thank you so much for being here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Next up, we have a new house. This one has no. Next up, we have a new and the take a loo, take a pee in the loo, take a pee in the loo.